started realizing that there's a third kind, maybe there's a second version. I don't know what they were. Did Wikipedia and I found out the close encounters of the fifth kind are discussions between aliens and us, humans. So this isn't exactly a science story. I'm not a scientist, I'm an engineer, but not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer, so I don't think it fits into the astronomy story, but it's kind of a story around astronomy. And I think the title is a little bit misleading. What it needs at the end is a question mark, not a period. So this is just a story of something that happened to me about 50-something years ago. Been a while. And it started, my parents and I were going to the desert to do a little coal prospecting. My father has a whole other story about life to the desert. So this occurred down in the California desert, down in Mojave, about 50 miles south of Naples, if you know where it is, kind of almost on the Colorado River. And our favorite gold-looking place was, you go from the highway and you go about 10 miles across the alluvial plains, it's a flat place, and you finally come to really rugged, the mountains are really rugged, there's nothing, no vegetation. So we normally go to the mountains and down to the wash, which is just a dry creek, and up at the end of that was an oasis, we call it Palm Springs, called So it's a normal trip, always springtime, since I was 14, I think, so it would have been school break. And we got to we were dropped off into this wash, and there was a cable going across the road, a sign that said, government progress, keep out, government progress, government progress. We looked at that, and I don't think so. But there's kind of strange people in the desert sometimes, so we decided not to go across the marking, and we went over to camp. Not very far away, yeah, a quarter of a mile away from the road. A little while later, we heard a car coming down the wash. So we walked over to meet him. And it was a kind of Jeep thing, you know, a city blanket kind of a vehicle. 3 guys in it, and they were dressed in desert clothes. So they stopped and got out. 2 of them got out. They talked to us. And one stayed in the back. He was looked like maybe he was the boss. Not very happy to be stopping, but he was there. And so we walked up to him and said, "Hi, we're over here camping." And he said, yes, we know that. We saw you when we were flying over earlier." Flying over, that's an interesting thing, because there is no place to fly over. And so, well, what kind of a vehicle were you flying? I'll give you a helicopter. And the driver goes, "Well, we were testing our spacecraft after we repaired it." What? What do you mean? He says, "Oh, we had a malfunction and we had to land the space vehicle to work on it. This afternoon we were testing it, so we were flying around and saw you come in. And I didn't see anything like that." So I kind of said, "Well, why did you pick on this place? I mean, this is a kind of weird place." And he says, "Yeah, we were kind of flying around a little bit, and then this one was the least contaminated with humans. Fine." So now the conversation is getting a little constrained. And I asked them what they were doing, what their job was, and they said they were scientists, and that they were geologists, and they were doing a survey, a geological survey of the planet. And when they asked where they were from, they said they were from another planet, a different star system. And being a kid, I don't know how to ask more than that. And so, about this time, I realized my father's kind of let me talk. I realized that there's this strange thing happening is because they're not actually talking. They're thinking. So we're having this conversation of, I'm talking, but I'm just hearing in my head what they're saying. So and I just went, I'm just a kid, and this conversation is so weird, it's just kind of unmuted me a little bit. And we got to ask him, and I talked to him quite a while about whether we could go up to the spring, and he said, no, you can't go up there. And besides that, it's all full of liquid ether. So you can't have to go up there. And we went on for a while. Finally, they left. And as they were leaving, I said, well, that's and my father turned to me. He's an engineer also, a pretty conservative kind of guy with his own business. Charlie, did you realize that this accident? Did you notice that they were just thinking to us? So now I really got this stuff, but yeah, I did. And then I thought, well, this is just crazy. Because they were where the heck they were from, and they had whatever kind of a vehicle they had, and where did they get this car, and where did they get these clothes, and how did they speak English? They were thinking. So the next day, we needed water. So we went to town, a little town called Right Out. It's one of those places with the agricultural inspection station across California. Went and got breakfast, and my father asked the waitress if she knew anything about this. What's going on out there in the mountains? And then it came time to be paying the bill, and she wasn't there. And the cook was there. And the customers were there. And so we kind of this is weird. So we put money down on the table to cover the cost of the breakfast. And went to a little service station. There was nobody in the service station. It was open, but nobody was there. And it was a little motel. And we went in there, we thought, well, maybe we could see it was right there. We went over to the agricultural inspection station and they weren't there. It was empty. It was like that. It had been abandoned. So we actually moved our camp. So that's kind of the end of that story. And it just stuck in my head for a lot of years. That's a really weird story. It's just kind of like, and then about 20 years ago, my father and I were kind of sitting around talking about this, reminiscing on old times. And he says, Charlie, the thing that really got me was a strange thing, but I don't understand how they got that black town car out there. And what were they doing in the desert in a suit and tie and shiny shoes and all that? They were in a Jeep, and they had jeans, and they had plaid shirts. They were in those camouflage. And that was the one thing talking about it. We never thought to compare. What were they wearing? What kind of car were they in? And that was obvious. It was not obvious what it was. This metal what. So that's the end of my little story, and that's why it has a question mark at the end of it. What was this? What? Was this just me as a kid, and my father, and my mother, some sort of strange fantasy? This is way before drugs and those kind of things came along. Anyway, that's just, I thought you might find that as interesting. Sort of